Hi, Corwin. Welcome to 360 Art Drops podcast. It's for all businesses and artists and musicians. And I wanted to welcome your optometry practice and you to the podcast. So, how did you get
Uh,
into optometry
oh,
and
thank you.
your background? So, how did you get into?
I got into it through school, being in my undergrad.
Uh-huh.
It was a thought that came to mind when I was in undergrad in Davis, UC Davis over in California, trying to figure out what to do with my life, and I thought of optometry.
Nice. So, what services do you offer at your optometry practice?
We do a lot of like different kinds of stuff. So we do like primary eye care. So,
Uh-huh.
checking glasses, helping with contacts, to like helping people buy like sunglasses, designer sunglasses, um, medical visits for the eyes in case they have red eyes and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then we're starting to branch out into doing more stuff for the community, which
Oh,
is like
nice.
helping kids control their changes in eyesight. So we call it myopic management therapy.
Okay.
Along with starting to work on dry eyes too, because a lot of our patients have dry eyes. So we're trying to branch out a little bit too.
I have that happen to me all the time, especially
Oh
after I
yeah,
moved to a really hot place, Arizona. Yeah.
oh
I
definitely.
was
The
like
eye drops
constantly
over
using
there.
eye drops. Um,
Yeah.
how do you
Mhm.
differentiate your practice from other eye care practices, optometry practices out there?
How do we compare with others?
Yeah.
Um, so when we designed our own new private practice back 7 years ago, we wanted to bring it back to the community that we were born in and grew up in. So we actually more connected to our Fremont area, and that's where we grew up. So we want to serve them better.
Yeah. What is the importance of like regular eye exams and how they contribute to overall eye health?
Eye exams are very important. We always stress the importance of annual checkups. It's actually being in primary care. It's actually like what if you don't go for your normal physical, we can actually see a lot in someone with their eyes. To the point where we're helping them, remind them to check on their cholesterol, their blood pressure, their diabetes, any other,
Oh,
and some
wow.
other systemic conditions where we're like kind of like the first line of defense, kind of just reminding them what they need to do.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you
Yeah.
could see all that just from an eye exam. That's interesting. Um,
Yeah. It's pretty important.
yeah. So how do you stay up to date with all the technological advancements for eye care?
Just like today, I was actually coming back. Just like today, I was actually coming back from a training. And the training was on like new lenses options for patients, with progressives, folks that aren't able to see far away and up close because of their age.
Uh-huh.
So we're always learning. I was having it as a training for the staff to go, involving them, and also learning myself new technologies and the lenses. Um, there's always continuing education in lenses, technologies like that, but also in health eye care as well. So being an owner, we have to upkeep like all the different departments that we have.
Right. Um, can you share some tips for maintaining good eye health?
So eye health, like I mentioned before, one of the things we discovered in our community is a lot of dry eyes, right? For the everyday normal person, especially in our Bay Area, we have a lot of people in IT, work with computers, work with phones. We tend to stare a lot.
Uh,
Staring contributes a lot to dry eyes, eye strain, focusing issues. We always say it's good to take breaks every 20 minutes, because prolonging, like taking care of your eyes, giving it a break will kind of help you strain less and
uh,
have less dry eyes. And that's a lot of what we do now is staring, right?
right. So you just advise them to take a lot of breaks and
We do, but at the same time, we know that you're not able to do it all the time because of deadlines and all the work that you do. So we recommend and try to talk about things that can help you, tools that can help you, like with staring at the screen, maybe like blue filter coatings to kind of help alleviate, your eyes from being too stimulated, or taking omega-3 fish oils to kind of help you produce more tears.
oh, okay.
Stuff like, yeah, recommendations that can kind of complement you in doing the work that you do, because we know
Okay.
that sometimes you can't just stop working or staring at a screen, or all that is too hard to stop.
Yeah. Um, can what do you do in like emergency cases and like urgent eye care? Um,
So yeah, no, we get like people that come in, like whether they're kids, maybe they playing around and got something in their eye, adults too. Um, we're always there, like they call us, text us, and we try to fit them in to take a look, evaluate their corneas and be, kind of like the middle ground person to know how to manage them, how to treat them. And then if it's something that we can't do, we know who to send them to,
right.
and what is the priority in sending them? Or is it an emergency case or something we can kind of control before they see the ophthalmologist? We're kind of like that, kind of like in town specialist there to help refer.
Are there any special demographics that you deal with, or do you take in basically all
Um, Yeah, so we consider ourselves more like kind of like a family eye care office. So we see anyone from like 5 years old to like geriatrics, older folks. And then, like it's a very much of a myriad of care,
what about
like in terms
babies
of
and
different.
stuff? Like,
So babies and stuff, we work with, local pediatrics that,
okay,
like will deal more with them. Kids and like babies, we do recommend like they get checkups at 6 months and six
okay,
months to 5 year old just to check their eye health. We don't like a lot of our equipment is geared more at the 5 year old level.
okay,
So the best care for those would be like sending them to the pediatrics as they have more stuff for them.
okay.
Hmm.
What misconceptions do most people have about optometry?
Um, so sometimes we get mixed up with ophthalmology, which is more the medical version of us.
Okay,
So in the medical ophthalmology, that's what they are. They deal more with more diseases, more management, more surgeries and stuff that's more in depth. We're more, like the more primary care, right? So we
okay,
take care of folks, screening them, and if they need an ophthalmology, we help direct the referral
So what
for them.
ophthalmology is like cataracts and stuff, or like surgeries, or
Yeah, and the level of actually doing the cataract surgeries, or like, dealing with people who have bleeding in the eye, like from like
oh,
uh a great advanced diabetes or something that might have leaking or bleeding in the eye. You'll
oh,
need the specialists to actually do laser treatments and stuff like that. So we don't do anything invasive, but we help evaluate when is it the right time to go for further treatments, um, if it goes beyond the norm.
I see. Um, what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out, like way back when you decided to start your practice? What advice would you give to someone who
I would
wanted to start
say,
with you?
like along the way, we have to take a lot of continuing education to keep up our license and stuff.
Uh,
But pre-pandemic and now as we're in the post-pandemic world, I'm sure these training sessions will happen again. And those are the times that you can network with your peers. It's about learning from each other.
uh-huh.
And then just like going through experience of different types of optometry atmospheres, whether
Uh-huh.
you're working in corporate, private practice, it's all about a different learning curve. And then if you can get as much experience as you can,
Okay.
then you'll be like a better optometrist.
Yeah. So, what did I mean, does the pandemic, is it still affecting you guys, are you
Um,
out of
I
that?
think I think we're pretty much out of it. I mean, optometry itself, like any healthcare, is always something that is needed.
Right.
Like everyone's saving on certain things, but in terms of taking care of yourself and helping your eye care needs, you always need, if you can't see well, glasses to see better. You'll always need treatments if, monitor yourself if you have diabetes or blood pressure, cholesterol. It's like it's things that you need to do to take care of yourself.
Right.
So our profession is always there in the need, right?
Right.
Um, and then so in terms of pandemic, um, I know some people at the time were staying more at home, but nowadays with insurances, they want to make sure that they don't lose their insurances not being used, so they tend to come out,
Okay.
right?
What's your most successful or memorable experience of helping someone with their eye care and affecting their like life in such a positive way?
Um, I had a patient one time. I was working at a Walmart setting, just doing exams only. This is in my own office in Livermore. Um, and you're just like taking care of patients the way we're trained to do. And I saw a patient that had, I looked inside the eye and it had like basically like, uh, the nerves didn't look the way they're normally supposed to, a little bit blurred out.
Uh-huh.
Usually, when you look at the optic nerve, it's a little sharp, like a donut shape. But this one, they looked like they were swollen in both eyes. And when they're swollen in both eyes, generally, that could mean that there might be like a tumor in the back of the pituitary glands, or there might be maybe some intracranial pressure on their heads
Oh, okay.
that needs to be drained out. So like we referred her out, and she and her husband came back one time and said, like they did do treatments on her, and then they actually told her that if no one ever referred her over, she would have lost her sight,
Oh
and
no.
lost her vision. So she was very grateful for, us being able to find it and just referring her over. Um, and yeah, I always remember the moment she came in and said, "You saved my life, you saved my vision." And then, but in the end too, we're doing the job that we were trained to do. So that was what we were trained to find and trying to isolate from school, being
Right.
an optometrist. So it was gratifying to know that what we were trained to do, we did what we
Really
did.
help somebody, yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. And you don't always hear it back. You work with a lot of patients. We refer people, things that don't seem right or seem a little bit abnormal. We send them out. So it's like our day-to-day kind of job, and saving one vision at a time is just something we do.
Right. Well, I wanted to thank you so much for being on 360 Art Drops YouTube channel, and I hope that many people get to hear about your optometry practice because it seems like you help a lot of people out there that really need it. Um, and just I wanted to thank you sincerely for being on here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thanks for having me and having my office there
Yeah,
and being here.
yeah. Thank you so much, Corwin.
You're welcome.
Bye. I'll see you.
Bye. See you.